Good morning to all. Welcome for today's session. So today we will be continuing with the remaining properties. 12 I have already finished yesterday. So onwards 13 to last, that is number 20, I will share with you today. Please go through all these 20 properties before starting your exercise problems. So here is the 13th one. If a natural number has n digits, then its square has 2n minus 1 or 2n number of digits. These properties are very interesting. When you will write the examples and will give a second thought, definitely you are going to find all these properties are very interesting from the numbers point of view. So I am saying natural number has n digits. Suppose you are taking the square of 2. What happens? The square is equal to, the result will be consisting of either 2n number of digits or 2n minus 1. Where n stands for number of digits. So in 2, how many digits are there? 1 digit. So if I put here 1, 2 into 1 is equal to what? 2, 2 minus 1 is equal to what? 1. So 1 digit will be there in the answer. Suppose I am taking 5. If I take the square of 5, what happens? The result is equal to 25. So either, now how many here? What is n is equal to? N is equal to 1. Only 1 digit is there in the number of which square I am finding. So n is equal to 1. So when I will getting the square of this, that is coming is equal to 25. So that will be like either in this form or in this form. So now if n is equal to 1, so 2 into 1, 2. So 2 digits I am finding in the square. So the result will always be either in 2n form or 2n minus 1. Suppose you are taking the square of 25 now. What happens? 625. So what is n is equal to? Here n is equal to 2 because 2 digits are there in 25. So when I take the square of 25, it becomes 625. 625 is lying in the form of 2n minus 1. If you substitute n is equal to 2 here, what happens? 2 2s are 4. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So how many digits are there? 3 digits are there. Similarly here n was 1. So 2 1s are 2. 2 1s are 2. So then minus 1 is equal to 1. So then that means that there will be either this form or this. Then I have to check this. If n is equal to 1, so 2 into 1. So this is not lying in the form of 2n minus 1. This is lying in the form of what? 2n. So 2 into 1, how many digits are there? 25. So two standard results will be there either in the form of 2n minus 1 or 2n. So this property is number 13. 14th is the square of any odd number except 1. If you will be getting the square of any odd number except 1, can be expressed as the sum of two consecutive positive integers. Square of any odd number. Now 1 you leave, after 1 the next number is what? 3. So if I write the 3 square, so can be expressed as a sum of, is equal to 9. Sum of two consecutive 4 plus 5. Very interesting. Suppose you are talking about 5, what is that equal to? 25. So 25, if you go for the sum of 25 in consecutive two numbers, so you can talk about 12 plus 13 and so on, other numbers you can try. So that is a standard property of the square of any odd number except 1 can be expressed as the sum of two consecutive, as I have expressed 9 in terms of 4 and 5, 25 in terms of 12 or 13. If you think about 7, 49, again two odd numbers you can take there to get the sum of 49. Then number 50. A perfect square always leaves a remainder 0 or 1 when it is divided by 3. Suppose perfect square 4. Perfect square is 4. 4 is there, a perfect square number. A perfect square always leaves a remainder 0 or 1 when it is divided by 3. Now you divide 4 by 3, what happens? The remainder will be equal to 1. So if you take the next, suppose it is 9. So what happens there? 3 3s are 9. Remainder will be 0. If you are talking about 25, so 25 when you will divide, again is a perfect square. When you divide it by 3, then what happens? 3 8s are 24 and your remainder will be equal to 1. So either the remainder will be 0 or remainder will be 1. Then property number 16 is the square of any natural number except 1 can be written as either a multiple of 3 plus 1 or second condition is multiple of 4 plus 1. There are two possibilities. square of any natural number except 1. Suppose I am taking 2. So square of 2 is equal to what? 4. So 4 either I can express in terms of the multiple of 3 plus 1. So I know that 3 into 1 is 3 plus 1. So 3 plus 1 is equal to what? 4. Understand? So this is the square 4 which I can express in the multiple of 3 plus 1. So if I am talking about suppose 3 square, that is equal to 9. So if I am expressing that in terms of multiple of 4, 4 into 2 plus 1. So 4 into 2 plus 1, that is multiple of 4 plus 1. Either in this format or in this format. So 2 square 4 can be expressed in multiple of 3 plus 1, or 9 that can be expressed in multiple of 4 plus 1. So these two are the possibilities for any perfect squares. Here I have given you the example of 4 and 9. There are 2 n non-perfect square numbers between the square of any 2 consecutive numbers n and n plus 1. So suppose there are 2 consecutive numbers n and n plus 1. Suppose I am saying 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are the consecutive numbers. So there are 2n non-perfect square numbers between the square of any 2 consecutive numbers. So if I get the square of 2 and I get the square of 3, what happens? 4 is here and 9 is here. Between this I am getting 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 4 numbers. So that is the result here. There are 2n non-perfect square numbers between the square of any 2 consecutive. I have taken n is equal to 2 and here it is equal to 3. So and n plus 1. So n is 2. Now here n is equal to what? Here n is equal to 2. So therefore n plus 1 will be equal to 3. Then you have to find the square of 2, that will become is equal to 4. You have to find the square of 3, that will become is equal to 9. So between 4 and 9, you know 4 and 9 are the perfect squares. So 4 and 9 are the perfect squares. So between these two, 4 and 9, the non-perfect square will be equal to 2 into n. So 2 into n. This is written here 2 into n. So n is equal to what? 2. So 2 into 2 is equal to what? 4. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 non-perfect square numbers will be lying between the 2 perfect squares. That is of 2 consecutive numbers. 18th is the difference between the square of 2 consecutive natural numbers is equal to their sum. The difference between the square of 2 consecutive numbers. Suppose I am talking about 1 and 2. So the square of 2 is 4, square of 1 is equal to what? 1. So what is the property? The difference between the square of 2 consecutive natural number is equal to their sum. Now if I get 2 square minus 1 square, that is equal to 3. 2 square is 4. 4 minus 1 is equal to what? 3. And what is the sum of 2 and 1? 2 plus 1. So that is always equal to their sum. Suppose you are talking about 4 and 5. So 4 plus 5, 9. Definitely. So 4 square is what? 16. 5 square is what? 25. Difference of 25 and 16 will always come equal to the sum of those two. That is 4 plus 5, 9. Then 19th property is the sum of first n odd numbers is n square. This property is also very interesting property. The sum of first n odd numbers is n square. First odd numbers. First number is odd. 1 always. And second is 3 always. So suppose I am taking these two. The sum of first n odd numbers is equal to n square. So here I have taken 2. So what is n is equal to 2. So 1 plus 3 is equal to what? 4, and that is equal to 2 square. So n, if I have taken 2 natural numbers, so I will take n is equal to 2. Suppose you are taking first 3, 1, 3 and 5. So now sum is equal to what? 9, 3 square. Why? Because I have taken n is equal to 3. So result will be n square, that is 3 square. If you are taking, suppose I am taking first 5 or 6 odd numbers together. That's why I am saying very interesting property. We are saying 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13. And now you need to determine the sum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 are there. That will be equal to 7 square. You can add and you see that will be equal to 49. 1 and 3, 4, 4 and 5, 9, 7, 16, 9, 25, 11, 36 and then 13 is equal to what? 49. So number of odd numbers you have to count and take the square of that. That will be the sum of consecutive odd numbers. Then your last property, that is related to your Pythagorean triplet somewhere. For every natural number n except 1, that is the condition, except 1, there is a triplet such as 1. This you have to remember in the format of 2n, n square minus 1 or n square plus 1. 2n, n square minus 1 and n square plus 1 as per the condition or the question in your textbook. Please remember, I am talking in terms of n only, so that's why I am giving you the sides also in terms of n. Here it is 2n, here it is n square minus 1 and here it is n square plus 1. Such that your sum of these two will be equal to the square of sum. Square of the n square plus 1. So sum of the square of 2n plus n minus 1 is equal to square of the n square plus 1. Now why this is there? I hope in your class 7 you studied somewhere the Pythagorean triplet. What did you say there? You said the square of the greatest side. Suppose I am taking the example of 3, 4 and 5. So you know 5 is the greatest side. The square of 5 will always be equal to square of 3 plus 4. You do it. 5 square is what? 25. 3 square is what? 9. 4 square is what? 16. So 9 plus 16 is 25. So your left hand side will always be equal to right hand side. And this is the statement of Pythagoras theorem, that the square of the greatest side out of 3, if is equal to sum of the square of other 2, such a triplet is called a Pythagorean triplet. But it is not necessarily all the time consecutive numbers are forming the Pythagorean triplet like I did here 3, 4 and 5. Not necessary. But my point of discussion here is, you have to identify out of these 3 for any natural number n ki which one is the greatest side. If you are writing here ki 2n whole square plus n minus 1 whole square is equal to n square plus 1 whole square. So please make it very clear ki out of these 3, this one is the greatest side for any value of n. You can take example. So I am taking n is equal to 1. So this will be 2, this will be 0 and this will be equal to what? 1 square plus 1. That's why it is written except 1. That is the condition. Now if I take 2, so 2 2s are 4 and 2 square is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. This is 4, this is 3 and 4, 2 square is 4 plus 1 is 5. So this will always be the greatest side. That's why we are writing same thing is there. Square of the greatest side will be equal to sum of the square of other 2 sides. So I am making it very clear to you ki why out of these 3 this is the greatest side. So for any value of n except 1, and why we have not to take 1, because that makes this is equal to 0. So please take care of all these properties with examples I have explained to you, and after going through these properties I assure you that you all will definitely be able to solve the problems in your exercise. Need not to solve, you just pay attention, pick the questions randomly and try at your home. I will be coming back to you day after tomorrow now. Day after tomorrow I am saying I am giving you 1 day gap to go through these properties and go through some exercise questions which you just can solve on behalf of 2 days discussion, today's and yesterday's. Tomorrow a light assignment of 5 to 6 questions of quadrilateral I will be sending to you. So please be careful about that, and I hope all of you will be comfortable with me during this session or during this topic of squares and square roots. So that's all about your properties of square numbers. Thank you and have a nice time.